5th of October, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Shavua Noach.
It's Tuesday, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll take up your request, Steve, and we will go to yeah. It's actually part of the thing. It's actually very important to know is the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Noach, right? It's actually called the 7 Mitzvahs B'nai Noach, but in fact, 6 of them were already given to Adam Harishon. The Gemara in Sanhedrin learns out the source of all these 7 mitzvahs, works out that 6 of them were given to Adam Harishon. The one that was not given to him was Eva min Achai, because he wasn't allowed to eat meat altogether, which in itself is a subject of discussion. But so let's go over to Perek Tes.
Okay.
Perek Tes.
Test. Okay.
Okay. Mayor, would you like to start?
Text. Okay.
Eber.
Okay. So it says, Vivarech Elokim et Noach yepanav vayomer lachem peru urvu umilu et haaretz. So Hashem said to, oh no,
Hashem
not
blessed.
said, Vayiverech. He
God
blessed.
blessed Noach and his sons, and he said to them,
Be fruitful and multiply and fill the
be
earth.
fruitful and multiply, umilu es haaretz, and fill the land.
Okay.
Okay, there's no Rashi on that. By the way, this mitzvah, the chayra, we'll see, the Gemara actually asked because, well, Rashi himself will ask the question. Pasuk Zayin repeats again, V'atem pru'eravu.
Oh,
You be fruitful and multiply. Shutzu v'aretz u'revuva. Okay? So now
Okay.
Rashi himself asked the question, what's this repeat of this pasuk over here, first pasuk? So Rashi explains that the first one is a blessing, means the Kosh Baruch is making a statement. You will be fruitful and you will multiply. Right? That will be and the last pasuk is a, I'm sorry, yeah, that's the first one. And the last pasuk, Atem Pru'eravu, is a mitzvah. But the Maisa, either way, Adam Harishon was already given that mitzvah, as we see in the 6th day of creation. What it says, Vayivarach Eisam Elokim, Vayem Elohem Elokim Pru Urevu Umilu Es Haaretz. Chapter 1, Pasuk Chof Ches, 28.
wow.
Okay? Okay, let's see now. Pasuk base. Continue, Pasuk base.
Okay. Umorachem v'hitchem yihiyeh al kol chayat haaretz v'al kol of hashamayim b'chol asher tirmosh
Tirmos.
Tirmos, right? Ha'adama uv'chol digei hayam b'yedchem nitanu.
They've been given into your hands, into your authority. Okay?
Okay. So let's see. There's a Rashi here. The hitchem. You shall fear.
Yeah, also, Morachem v'chitachem, your fear and your dread,
Oh, and
Yes,
you
right.
dread.
Okay, we have it. Where's the Lashon? It doesn't mention it there. Well, Rashi is going to give an example. Okay,
Yeah,
where
might be referring to Job.
right, there's a pasuk there. It says Tiru Chatas.
Ah,
You'll be feared with dread. I think that's how I translated it. Just 1 second.
well, that was a Rashi, it says. Oh, okay.
Issues. Fear and dread of you will be upon all the beasts of the earth, or all the birds of the heaven.
Oh.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so that's the Rashi here.
Okay.
So the first said, actually it's interesting. The pasuk says, the fear and dread of you will be upon kol chayas haaretz, all the beasts of the land, all the birds of the heaven, everything that creeps upon the land, on the ground, and all the fish, because they have been placed in your control. Okay, let's see the Rashi here.
Okay, so v'hitchem ve'ei matchem kemo tir'u chatat. Then we have the Agadah. So we have the Agadic. Okay, it says Lashon Chiyut means life, I guess. Shechol Zman. Shetinoch Ben Yomo Chai. Oh, because it's a time, I guess, when a baby.
That's as long. The Cholzman means in this context it means as long.
Oh, as
As
long.
Shantino ben Yomo Chai, ein atot tzorach l'shomra min ha'achborim. Right? Even a day-old baby, if he's alive, you don't have to protect him from the
Mice.
mice.
Achbarim. Huh. Okay. Og Melech Habashan made.
Mace, but if you have Og Melech HaBashan, who's like the most giant human being that ever existed, okay? If he's
Right.
dead, tzarach l'shomra min ha'achborim. Then you have to protect his body from mice. Because the mice are going to start to have a festive meal with him. Shnema u'marachem v'chitchem yeh. Eimos hayeh marachem ala chayos kol zman she'atem chayim. Whereas the animals have a sixth sense, and they know that if a person's alive, they're not going to touch the person. Okay? The person is dead, then the animals will already be ready to go for him.
Okay.
Okay. Now, okay, so this, the next pasuk. Steve.
Steve, I muted you because there was noise coming out. You have to unmute.
Yeah, there's someone doing work here, and okay, we're up to yeah. Okay, Gimel. Kol remes. Asher hu chai. Any creeping. I don't think it's gonna go because it's call any creeping creature.
It sounds like practical application. You know, we just mentioned.
No, you're gonna have to take over for me.
Sounds like you've got some creeping creatures over there.
Exactly. As soon as you mention them, they start making noises. Right. Okay.
Kol remes
Remes.
hu chai lachem yeh leachla ke erek
Yerek Eitev.
ev nasati lachem eskol. Every moving creature that lives, it shall be yours for food,
Right.
like the vegetation,
Right.
the green vegetation that I give to you for everything.
Nosati lochem eskol. Right.
I've given to you everything, for all the animals and all the vegetables.
Meaning, so Rashi is going to explain. Let's refer back to the 6th day of creation again. And there the Pasuk said, what was man's food originally?
Vegetation.
Yeah. Vegetation. Chapter 1, Pasuk 29. Vayomer Elokim hinei nosati lachem is called Eisev Zerea Zera Asher Pnei Kol Haaretz. It's called Eitz Asher Boi Free Eitz Zerea Zara Lachem Yiyeh La'achla. That should be for you for food. And L'chachayas Haaretz L'chayv Hashemayim V'Remeis Al Haaretz Asher Boi Nefesh Chaya is called Yerek Eisev La'achla Vayichei. He's a Kosh Baruch who told Adam Arishon, your food will be vegetation. Any forms of vegetation will be your food, but not animals. No living creature will be allowed. Okay? So now the Pasuk is telling you that the Kosh Baruch is telling Noach, instead of what was originally, you only had vegetation. Now I'm giving you everything. Animals as well will be for you to eat. So let's see the Rashi over here.
Lo here shesi la'adam harishon le'echol basar ela yerek esev v'lachem ke yerek esev Shehifarti la'adam harishon nasati lachem eskol. So it says, I do not permit Adam harishon to eat meat, rather green vegetables.
But only, right. But only green vegetables.
only green vegetables.
Right.
And
but for you,
just as vegetables, which I released for Adam Harishon.
Yes, Shehifkarti means I gave him a free hand. Shehifkarti means there were no. I gave Yerek Esev, Yerek Esev without limitation. I gave that to Adam Harishon. So too, Nosati lochem eskol. Now I have given you for food everything. So Noach was now permitted to eat meat. Okay?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Dalit.
Yeah, Pasuk Dalet.
Okay, let's see. Ach basar b'nafsho damo lo tochelu. Okay, but the meat in his soul, I guess,
Nafshay Dama, with its soul, its blood, lo yisochelu.
you shall not eat.
Right.
Okay, so we can't eat blood.
Right, that's number one. And we're going to see here, the goyim are not are permitted to eat blood, but
Oh,
not dam min hachai. As we're going to see, Rashi is going to explain. This pasuk is forbidding bosa min hachai and dam min hachai.
okay,
Okay, let's see
so
the Rashi here.
basar b'nafsho. It says asar lahem. So he forbade them. Okay, aver minachai. Okay, so to eat
Limb from a living animal.
from a living kolomar, kol zaman shenafsho vo lo tochlu habasar. Is that a pasuk?
No, he's just paraphrasing the pasuk.
Oh, he's paraphrasing it. Okay. Okay,
See,
so
Rashi paraphrasing, it's ach bosa lo yisochelu b'nafshay dama. Or that's what he's saying. Ach b'nafshay dama bosa lo yisochelu. Meaning, while the meat is still with its lifeblood, okay, then you mustn't eat it. Meaning, if you take it from a living animal, you take the piece of meat from a living animal, you mustn't eat it.
okay.
So I translated it exactly. Yeah. You must not, however, eat the flesh or its blood while it is still alive.
Okay.
Obviously, the blood of an animal. So let's see
Right.
Rashi here. So we just did that.
Yeah, so he goes next
Benafsho
Rashi. It
Yeah,
says
benafsho
benafsho damo, with its soul, its blood. Okay, be'od nafsho vo basar
Well,
benafsho.
right?
Oh, okay.
While its soul is still in it, meaning in the animal, still alive, bosa benafsho lo yisochelu.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
now, so one second. Rashi's pointing out over here as follows. So basically, the literal meaning of benafsho doma means benafsho, whilst it's alive, doma with its blood, right? Then you mustn't eat it. Now, next Rashi's bothered. What's the additional? The word domo is not really significant over here because you just as well said ach bosa benafsho lo yisochelu. Whilst the meat is still with its soul, it's still alive, the animal, lo yisochelu, you mustn't eat it. So therefore, that's what Rashi in the next Rashi explains. Bosa benafsho lo yisochelu. Okay, had it just said bosa benafsho lo yisochelu hare eva min hachai. That's telling you eva min hachai, which means meat. Eating a limb means a meat from a living animal, which means huadin, cutting it off, the piece of meat, and then eating it separately is the same thing as eating the meat directly from the animal. That there's no difference. Point is, you to cut off the meat whilst the animal is still alive, that's the issa of eva min hachai. Ba'af domo lo yisochelu. Similarly, its blood as well you mustn't eat. Okay, Haredam min achai. So therefore, the pasuk is telling you as well that you mustn't eat blood or consume blood drawn from a living animal. Okay,
Okay.
but obviously the goyim, whatever the Noach, the Bnei Noach were not restricted from actually eating or drinking dam from it. In other words, a slaughtered animal, the goyim allowed to eat dam. That's not forbidden to them. It's only taking from a living animal. And similarly, taking meat as well. The goyim don't have a chiyuv to slaughter, to shechita to an animal, as long as they kill the animal in a humane way, right? Then there's no problem. They're not specifically prescribed to do it by shechita, but they're not allowed to eat the meat whilst before the animal dies. Okay. Next pasuk hey.
Af es dimchem le nafshesechem edrosh miyad kol chaya ad rishenu miyad ha'adam miyad ish achiv ad rosh es nefesh ha'adam. So it says, however, the blood
Your blood,
of your souls,
right?
I will demand an accounting from the hand of every wild animal. I will demand it. And from the hand of man, his brother, I will demand the soul of the man. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
the verse points over here. I'll tell you how I translated it, and we'll see more in Rashi, because it says, and I will nevertheless claim retribution for your own bloodshed, even of your own life. I will also claim retribution for your bloodshed from the hand of every wild beast. Means an animal that kills a human being, he's going to be punished. And I will claim retribution for a person's life from the hand of the person who killed him, even from the hand of a man who is like his brother. Which basically means the Kosh Baruch Hu is saying he's forbidding murder as well. Well, suppose the Kosh Baruch Hu, there's a number of things over here. Kosh Baruch Hu is saying that person who commits suicide, he's going to be punished for his committing suicide. Obviously not being put to death because he's already dead, but it means in Olam Haba, he's going to be punished for taking his own life. It's number one. Kosh Baruch Hu has also punished an animal for having killed a human being. And the third thing is also murder. One person kills another person, okay, even if that person is like the person's brother, nevertheless, he will be put to death, right? Or he will be punished by death for having killed another person. So basically, the idea behind this pasuk is human life is different from lives of animals. Somebody kills an animal, he's allowed to kill an animal, especially if it's for food, okay? But the human life is paramount, and therefore nobody is allowed to take human life, not a person himself, not an animal, and not one person to a fellow man. Okay, now we'll see more about this in Rashi over here now.
just a question on translation. on the phrase miyad ish achiv, my English and also you, when you just translated it, insert the word even. But I don't see the word even. Where are you
You're
getting
right.
it from?
I added the word even in brackets, and we'll see in Rashi.
Okay. So this is verse 5. Ach es dimchem. However, your blood. Ach al pi she hitarti lachem le nitilas nishama biv hema es dimchem ed rosh me ha shofech dam atzmo. So even though I have permitted you to take the life of animals,
Right.
I will require retribution from one who spills blood, who spills his own blood.
Right.
I don't get it. What's the even though? They're two separate things.
Meaning, a person may be, how should we say, misled into thinking, well, I can kill any animal, so why can't I kill myself?
Uh-huh. I see.
Dimchem, in other words, any human being, even your own soul, right? As dimchem, your own blood, edroish, me'ashofek dam atzmoi, lenafshei seichem. So now Rashi says the next word, because that says, ach es dimchem, lenafshei seichem, edroish. So if it just said, ach es dimchem edroish, means I will claim retribution for your blood, that means person himself, if he kills himself, chas v'shalom, okay, by bloodshed. Now the next Rashi says the next thing is the nafshe seichem
Of your souls, af ha chonek atzmo, af al pi shelo yatsa mimenu dam.
Okay.
So even or also, if he strangles himself, even though there was not a flowing from him of blood.
right? Even though there was no bloodshed, no blood was shed by him. Nevertheless, since he took his life by strangling himself, that's also forbidden.
And that's why it says this word l'nafsho seichem. Okay.
Right.
Yad kol chaya, from the hand of every wild animal. Lefi shechateu dor hamabul v'huf kiru le'ma'achol chayos raos lishlot bahen shene'emar nim shal kabehemos nidmu lefichach hutz rach lehazhir alehen es hachayos.
So you see as well as that prior to the flood, since everybody was so corrupt, this also had effect on the animals. That was a double point. One point which I mentioned yesterday, that because people changed their nature, that also caused the animals to change their nature, and therefore they would, rather than previously being afraid of attacking human beings, they would now attack human beings. Okay, that's number one. And in addition, as a punishment for their behavior, the humans' behavior, Kosh Baruch Hu set upon them wild animals that they would kill them. Okay,
The animals would
that's
kill
what
the
he
people.
says. How to Doramabul? The Doramabul,
Since the generation of the flood sinned, and they were abandoned as
what was that word?
wild
Sorry?
beasts. They were abandoned.
Yeah, banned is not the right word. They were given over, or shall we say, anyway, as food for the wild animals. Let me see how I translate bird. Hold on a second. Rashi. No, I don't have it. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, it's not important. I just want to see how I translated it. Don't have it. So what are we saying here?
We're saying that
Yeah, what does Hufku Lamach mean?
since the generation of the flood was given over to be the prey of wild animals,
Right.
Hashem gave animals over to the generation of Noah.
Now, on the contrary, the Hufku means the people of the generation of Noah became prey, easy prey for the wild animals. Kosh Baruch allowed the wild animals to have control over them, over the human beings.
Of the flood.
Right, because of that generation, because they were, the behavior was so corrupt, therefore Kosh Baruch allowed the animals to have a certain control over them, and therefore the animals would now start attacking human beings. Now, Kosh Baruch says, now the flood has been, I've wiped all these people out, things are going to go back to normal now.
No.
And animals are not allowed anymore to attack human beings. And if an animal kills a human being, he's going to get punished. That's what basically saying. That's what he says. Now, you have to warn the wild animals, right? The game's over. Party's over. Okay? Now we're going back to normal life, and you animals are not allowed to attack human beings. And if you do, you're going to get punished.
So the word bahen means with the humans.
Yes.
Okay.
For them, the wild animals to have control, to rule over the human beings.
Okay. As it is written, he is ruled as cattle.
Nimshal, kabehemos nidmu. They become, right, they're compared now to as if they were being ruled over by the animals. Actually, I translated slightly different. I have to think, just 1 second. I think it's more describing the fact that human beings have now become like animals. And therefore, just like animals are allowed to eat other animals, so too, the human beings could be attacked. Where is it? Chapter 9. Man is ruled over by beasts of prey like animals that perish. Okay. It's interesting because Lamaisa, even animals were not allowed to eat animals prior, according to the proper form of behavior prior to the flood. I mean, prior to that generation, right? Animals would only eat vegetation. There was no such thing as wild animals. It means like beasts of prey, birds of prey. But because of the human beings were not acting properly, HaKadosh Baruch Hu changed that nature and allowed animals to eat other animals, or not other animals, allowed animals to attack human beings. So therefore, in that respect, this is that's what possible. Nimshal, they were ruled over by animals. Kabehemus nidmu, they were like animals, meaning in the same way as nowadays, certain animals rule over other animals. Like the larger animals rule over the smaller animals or the weaker animals, so too then animals ruled over human beings. That's chat in the Parsha. Okay,
It was necessary for their sake to warn the wild beasts that against attacking man.
Right.
Why do you need to warn wild beasts? They can't understand a warning.
Okay, so this goes back to what we discussed last week, and I believe was it yesterday or Sunday? This idea that animals have a level of understanding and intelligence that they have to be told what to do. I mean, it goes back to the whole thing that even vegetation, how was HaKadosh Baruch Hu told the earth produce vegetation? And in fact, it didn't exactly follow the HaKadosh Baruch Hu's command to the letter. So you see that it's again this concept that animals, they will follow for sure. If they're told something, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells them to do something, there's no question about it, they will do it. And therefore, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu told the animals, you're not allowed to attack human beings, they obviously listened. But it was told to them. It wasn't, it was something which it was an acceptance by the animals of the commandment of Hashem. It wasn't just an automatic thing. Okay, we'll have to stop here to be continued tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem.
Okay.
Very good.
Rabbi.
Be well.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Okay. You well, Yechiel. Okay.
Have a good day, everyone.
Okay, good luck with your computer.
Yeah, we're gonna try to install a new camera now. We'll see what happens.
All right, good luck.